welcome back to 12 Foot Chain, everybody. This week we're going to go over Baby Blue by the band Badfinger. And this is such a great pop rock song. I think it was out in 71 or 72. And just fantastic melodic vocals, and the guitar is really interesting. We're going to cover, I think, the three primary guitar parts here. There's an acoustic that's playing rhythm throughout the whole thing. There's an electric, also basically rhythm guitar that's going on. And then there's a lead guitar section, and we're going to cover all three of those today. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and click subscribe and ring the bell. I'd love to let you know every time I drop new content, which I do every single week. And if you like what you're hearing, click the little thumbs up sign there, and it'll help the algorithm serve up more things that you do like this. Okay, so let's start with the first part here on acoustic for a rhythm guitar. So first thing on the record, what you hear is, you hear sort of this position up here. The song is primarily in and around B, but you can tell through some of the strummings and the chord tones that you're hearing that, at least for the acoustic, and I believe for the main electric also, which we'll get to later, you're capoed at the 4th fret. I think that's pretty plain for the acoustic, and we'll talk about why I think that's so on the electric as well. Okay, but let's just sort of go over the chords. So standard tuning, you capo up at 4. I'll be showing the chord positions up here as I go along. But the intro is coming in on a F sharp. So when you're capoed at 4, F sharp is your D shape. And the strumming pattern is just like the old sort of girl group songs from the early 60s, whereas dun, 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 dun. So that's the sort of rhythm that's going on with the guitar. So it's starting off in F sharp, down to a C shape, F shape, so the B, when you're playing here capoed at 4, is your G shape. And you can plainly hear those notes on the record there. So when you see them play this live, they're not capoed. But you're also only hearing them mime to, or for what I've seen on YouTube anyway, they're sort of miming to the track. So the instrumental that you're hearing actually is the studio instrumental, and they're just singing live over that. But I think when you listen to actually how it sounds on the record, what are sort of open strings ringing out, I think it's pretty clear you're capoed at 4, all right? But that's the main piece or the primary sort of chords for the verse sections. And that's how it goes around on the first one. On the second one, it's going to end a little differently and go into sort of the pre-chorus before you get to Baby Blue, right? So the second one is going to go. And here's where it's different. And it goes into a double time strum from there. So those chords that are how that last section ends a little differently. It pivots from the F sharp, or your D shape, and it goes to an A minor shape. And then you pick up your ring finger for an A minor 7 shape to a C with a G on the bottom. And then it goes baby blue. So I think that's your choice if you want to throw that on the acoustic. You could do without it and let the electric do that too. But the main thing is that the strum picks up patterns, so now you're really driving the rhythm. All right, now we're going to go into I guess it's the bridge section. So the bridge section is where you really hear the electric guitar going, right? But the acoustic is going to have more, it's going to go back to the original girl group sort of half rhythm. Right? So those chords are B minor shape, E minor shape, and then you're gonna drop down to whatever shape that is. E minor 7, I guess, maybe. Shape. So I did the rhythms wrong a little bit there, but I'm showing you the chords. So let's play the acoustic part with those chord shapes with the appropriate rhythm, okay? Repeat. And then the end's a little different. Now we're going to go into the guitar solo section. So what's happening chord-wise is it's D to A, E to B, or B flat shape when you're capoed, to F shape, C shape to G shape, all right? So. That's what happens there. Then it repeats the same verse pattern. So from there, it's the same. It's a verse section after the solo. And the only thing that's different is the outro, which comes after the last, Baby Blue, or My Dixie Dear. I can't remember which one he says. Right. So, great sounding. Everything is sort of there in place. When you capo this at the 4th fret, the chord positions are super easy, and that's how they did it on the record. You could hear. Yeah, so that's the acoustic part. So let's now transition and talk about the electric part. All right, so let's talk about the great electric rhythm guitar, which I think is front and center instrumentally on this song. That's really the one that you hear. So Badfinger, they were known for Pete Ham actually played an SG, and it was actually the SG that George Harrison owned and gave it to him. You know, George used it in the sort of Paperback Writer and Revolver sessions. Side note, so Beatles did a promo film for Lady Madonna when they put the single out, and they had a view of them playing in the studio. But the video of them that they put to the Lady Madonna music was actually them recording Hey Bulldog. And you see George playing this red SG during that session. Anyway, I digress, but that's the SG that Pete Ham was playing. And for the record that they did on this, so it was reported that Pete played an SG, and Joey Molland, who's the other guitar player, played Les Paul Jr., TV Yellow, or Special, I guess. Junior or Special, one of the two. And I think it's a Special because I've seen a picture of him playing that. That's what he was said that he played on the album, but I'm not sure if those were used on the song, but just so you know, that's sort of what was in the rotation. Live, you see both of them playing SGs a lot. So I'm going to go with an SG for the main electric part here. And you'll notice again, I'm capoed up on 4. You know, as I said earlier, there's video that you can find of Badfinger playing this song for a TV audience, but like I said, it's to the recorded backing track. They're not playing instruments live that you're hearing. They're singing live over that. And when they are playing it without a capo. So there's a lot of C-shaped, you know, chords like this, etc., that everybody's playing. And when you watch real closely, you know, they're miming it. But Pete Ham he's mimicking the acoustic part on his SG. But of course, on the record, he's not using that. He's using an acoustic. And then Joey Mullen is playing his SG, and he's playing it with no capo either. But when you watch him play it, he's not really hitting all of the... He's not doing everything cleanly. And if you do try and play this song in open tuning, you can do it. And I'll actually link you to another lesson that shows you how to do that in standard tuning and open, which is a great lesson. But I don't think that that's what they did on the record. I just really don't. So the riff that they're playing throughout the song in between the chords, you know, that stuff, you can do it. You're sort of doing a big finger spread and you're playing sort of the major scale, which it is. But similar to the acoustic, all those things fall so much easier into place when you capo it at 4. And I really think they probably did this electric part also capoed on 4. He may have wrote it that way. You know what I mean? It's sort of those cowboy chords. But to my ear, that's what I'm hearing. And I'm going to go with that. And so I'm going to do the lesson based on that. All right, so similar chords to what we did with the acoustic part. In terms of tone, so I'm on my SG for this, bridge pickup, and I'll show you the settings that I've got on my pedals here, but you need some kind of chorusing effect going on. So any sort of chorus of your choice probably will be fine. A little bit of overdrive and not a ton. But dial that in so it sounds right to you. So let's start with this part. So the song opens in B, and I'm again going with my cowboy chord, my G shape, and it's gonna open with the drum crashing and this guitar going. Right? So all I'm doing, I'm not doing the whole chord. You don't want to go across the whole chord. You're just really relying on the bass note and really picking on the 3rd and the 2nd string. So So it's not the Keith Richards, it's not, or it's not that. It's just your index finger going, doing the suspended on your second string. So really the notes that or the strings that you want to hit is right. You can hit the third, fourth, or the fourth, third, and second, but really you're focusing on the third and second. And then that riff, starting from the G position, is. It's just another clue that I really think that they played it at this position. It's so much easier. You could play all of those. You could play all of those from, without the capo. It's just, you're making it a lot harder on yourself. And everything is so much smoother sounding if you're capoed at 4. All right, so that's the intro. And then you're going to go down to your C position. And I play an open C chord because it allows you to do the next part super easy. Right? You're just walking down, which you've done a bunch of times when you're playing down here. Right? So, again, I think all those fall into place because of your capo. Every one of them just falls right into place. So that one is. Right? Then you're going to your part before you go to your chorus, your pre-chorus, your A minor shape. So when you come out of that C, you're doing a climb. You're basically doing a sort of an arpeggio where you start on the root on the second string. And you're going backwards 3 notes. So you hit the root note on the low. And then go over to your first string and do the same pattern. And then end by putting your pinky on the 3rd fret up. And then you're back to the top again, right? So that runs through one more time. And then it goes into the bridge part that'll then go into the guitar solo. So that's a B minor position. Well, I'll just play it through. It's this part. And again, right? So those chords are a B minor position, E minor position, and then I guess an E minor 7. You're dropping down the root note on the 4th string, which is beautiful, which leads you to an A minor position. Pick up your ring finger for an A minor 7, F shape, C shape, G shape, and then do your G riff, and then you repeat. Now we're going to come out of this part into the guitar solo. And the chords that you're doing here are, again, D to A, E to B, which is a B flat shape when you're capoed, F shape, E shape, B shape. So when you're starting on that, what's going over the top of this is the guitar solo. So this is a little laid back and you're just doing a sort of a chunky strum. And then you're back to the verse. And then you run that through all the way. Everything's the same there again till you get to the intro, the outro. After the last Baby Blue. Baby Blue. Or Dixie Dear, I forget which one again. I think it is Dixie Dear, right? So now you're going to do sort of a picking arpeggio pattern over the G-shaped chords. Whoop. A minor shape. So it's an A minor, and you pick up your ring finger, grab the G position on your sixth string to get this. That's going to take you down to the F. Right? So let's run through that again. So my Dixie Dear. So again, you're hitting your root and then fourth, third, second string. A minor, fourth, third, and second string. Drop your bass down. Whoop. F, C, and in with your big G shape / B note. And that's it. So yeah, I think those parts fall way easier into place when you're capoed at 4, just like the acoustic. So I say go with that. Let's talk about the guitar solo part now. Okay, so the guitar solo. I'm going to take the capo off for this part. You could play it with the capo or without, because you're playing above that position in any regard. But every time that I've seen Joey Molland play the solo live or mimed or anything like that, he is playing open here. And this is sort of the positions that he's using when he's doing it. So again, the chords that are happening behind here are D to A to E to B, and then it repeats again. So he's really living on the third, second, and first strings for this solo. So where he starts is off of the he's going to bend into the D position here. So if you think about that D position, the note that he's starting with is where you're starting on 6th fret on the E note, the 6th fret on the B string, and you're bending it up to the what is the minor third or the third for the D chord. Right? So think about these positions. Think about this position, D chord, and this position, A chord. So he's going to bend into this. And then he's going to end on this part of the A. So he's outlining the D chord, and he's outlining the A chord. But it's bending into it like this. And he's going to do the same thing, a little different, but he's going to do this the same sort of idea on the next part, which again, your chords are E to B. So the only difference there is he's not going, right? So the first one is, and the next one, and you can hear him hold it. You can hear the string sort of rake over the I don't know if it's the saddle or the nut or the fret, but you can hear it sort of, because he's holding that bend, and it's sort of a weird sort of place where you're going to grab the bend, because you're bending up 2 frets, but you're not starting it from, because where your fingers are, you're grabbing it with your middle finger, single middle finger, and bending that up. So again, right? So it's like he bends it up, gives it a wiggle, and then he ends with a. It's hard to do it exactly, but during that is when you hear that string rake across the fret or whatever. And then he goes the second part. So if we've started here with this D and this A, he's going to go up to what's basically this D and this A, right? So he's ending on, so he's ending on, and then he's going to bend up into this part of the D chord on your B string. The melody is, right? So it's just a single half-step bend. You put your ring finger on 9, bend it up 1 fret, pull it off down to 7. Then you're going to grab your A-shaped triad right here on 9, add that E on 12, slide up to 14, bend it up, and then slide up for our last big bend, and you're going to hold it with the vibrato all the way up from our A note to our high B, so all the way from whatever that is, 15, 17 up to 19. And just hold that bend, right? So let me do that last whole part together. Something like that. So that's how I've seen him play it. Sounds great. So all that's left here is the outro solo, and great melodic run, and it's constructed really, really well, and it's actually really easy. So you're going to be moving from one string to the next, and you're moving up 2 frets when you're moving to the next string. I'll show you what I mean. And the chords that are running behind it are A, E, and B. Right? So the first 2 notes are, right? So you're starting on A on your 6th string. You're grabbing 7th fret on B, so you're moving up 2 frets, and you're going to do a slide up and down. And that works. Why? Because we're playing an A chord, and those 3 notes are in the scale. And then you're switching to an E chord behind you, and our hands are right here. So same thing. So we move from the 6th string to the 5th string 2 frets up. Now we're moving from the 5th string to the 4th string 2 frets up, and doing that same little figure. That's still in the E scale. That's still in the E scale, because we're still over our E chord. And finally, we're going to bend up on the 2nd string from 14 up to what is the 3rd of your B chord, which you're ending on the big B chord. And you just bend that forever. There you go. One more time slowly. And bend it forever. All right, well, that's Baby Blue by Badfinger. What'd you think? You think it's the capo at 4? I do. I just think all those little riffs fall magically into place. It's so much easier to play, and I think it sounds like the record when you're doing it that way. But let me know what you think in the comments. And if you've seen any footage of them actually playing this live in open position, you know, without a capo, and that it actually sounds how it was on the record, I want to know that. So please, please do send me anything that you can find, and see if I can prove my theory right. Okay, so if you like what you see here, click the thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, I'd love if you could subscribe to the channel and ring the bell, and it'll let you know every time that I drop a new lesson like this, which I do every single week. And let me know if there's a song that you want to hear, you want me to take on, especially if it's one that I don't know. So love to be able to do a lesson and learn something new and put it out there. So all right, so until next time, take care everybody.